Happy springtime, y'all. We are in Aries season. Everybody's in Aries, including you. So with this being the first episode of Spring Alchemy for this year, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to combine the everybody's in Aries, including you, with how to self-care during Aries season. Plus, I'm going to pull a card on what we should all be doing, some deeper inner wisdom that we all need in order to really survive and thrive during Aries season. So stay tuned for Spring Alchemy episode 1. All right, y'all. So welcome to Spring Alchemy episode number 1. We are all in Aries season, which means everybody's in Aries, including you, including me. No matter when your birthday is, no matter what sign you are, the sun is in the sign of Aries. And so we are all feeling that Aries energy right now. We're all feeling that beginning of spring. So before I get started, I want to welcome you to Spring Alchemy episode 1. And for those of you who don't know me or this is your first time watching, my name is Tonya Poole. I am an author, an astrologer, a teacher, an extraordinary woman. Yeah, I said it. And I'm going to explain why once I talk about this Aries energy we got going on. And so I'm just happy to be here. It seems like it's been a while. I did do a Pisces video, but I skipped Aquarius. And, you know, we are just coming out of a Mercury retrograde season, or we're at the tail end of it right now. And so a lot of us, our energy has just been tied up with whatever it was that was right in front of our faces at the moment. But this Aries energy, this fiery Aries energy has come forth almost like a blessing, right? Almost like a gift to us right now, because Aries energy is so powerful. It is a fire sign. It's very fiery in its nature, very aggressive in a good way. And so that's what we're going to talk about. Like, no matter what sign you are, because we are in Aries season, this is the time when all of us should be embracing that Aries within all of us, because no matter when your birthday is, Aries is somewhere in your birth chart. And with that being said, this is the time when all of us should be cultivating and working on that Aries energy, however you pronounce it. So anyway, make sure you stay tuned to the end, especially if you actually are in Aries. If you were born between March 20th to April 19th, I have a special something for the real Aries people that are in the building. But so make sure you stay tuned until the end. And I also have picked some cards for all of us to add some additional wisdom that all of us can learn from, no matter when our birthdays are. And so basically what you can expect in this video is to learn a little bit more about what Aries is, especially if you are new to astrology. You know, and you're just kind of learning what all of this is. I'm just going to give a brief overview of what Aries is. Also talk about what we should all be doing during this time, and how we can all self-care. Plus, I'm going to let y'all know what those cards say and announce the special that I have for all of the Aries people who are here. All right, so Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. If you don't know, there are 12 signs of the zodiac that go all the way from Aries all the way to Pisces. And we just got out of Pisces season. Winter has come and gone, depending on where you are though, because in certain parts of the world, you know, y'all, if you're in the lower hemisphere, you're not in the spring season. I think you're going into fall. And then even if you are in the northern hemisphere, it might still be cold. Like where I am, it's like teetering between hot and cold, like, you know how spring does. It can't make up its mind if it's going to actually be here or not, right? So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it's the first sign of spring. And so that Aries energy, the sign of Aries begins on March 20th and runs all the way to about April 19th. And during that time, we say that that's Aries season because the sun is in the constellation of Aries. Like if you were to find where Aries is in the sky, you look up in the sky, where Aries is, that is where the sun appears to be for these next 30 days or so. And so we call that Aries season, and this is when the spring equinox hits on March 20th, and we enter into the spring season. And then the trees start budding and the flowers start blooming and the birds start chirping and new life begins, right? But have you ever thought about the amount of energy it takes to push forth new life, right? Any of you who are mothers who have given birth, whether you've actually pushed, or you had a C-section, whatever, right? If you think about all of the things that your body went through to accommodate this new child and then to push this life out of you, that takes a lot of energy and a lot of intentional effort, right? So when you think about Aries energy being a fire sign, it is aggressive in nature. It is pushing forth. It's about pushing forth new life. It's about pushing forth, if you want to think about beyond just, spring budding and, new life and the rabbits and the birds and, all of that kind of stuff, but just pushing forth our ideas into the world, pushing forth who we are into the world. Aries is not passive. In other words, Aries, this time of year, we are challenged to put aside the tendency to play it safe, right? To be passive, to be shy, to be, I don't know if I can do that or not. This ain't the time for that. Aries is like, no, this is the time to push forth new life. This is the time to, if you have something that needs to be said, to say it. This is the time to be firm in who you are. So like in my introduction, when I said, what did I say? I'm an extraordinary woman, right? And some people would say, oh my gosh, why would she say that? Oh. But Aries is, its brother sign or sister sign, however you want to look at it, is Leo, right? So they're all about the self, right? And being sure of yourself. But Aries does it a little bit differently. So when we are in Aries season, we are challenged to take risk. We are challenged to not play it so safe, to not be so passive, to not be so timid and to be so afraid, but to be confident and to be sure and to be powerful in who we are and confident in who we are. The key words to Aries are I am. And so whatever you say, many of us have heard this before, whatever you say after the words I am is who you are, right? So if you say, I am smart, I am beautiful, I am passionate, I am ugly, I am stupid, I am foolish, whatever, right? You are identifying yourself with whatever word you say after I am. So Aries, this time of year, we are all challenged to identify ourselves, or to at least look and see, how do we identify? How do we identify? If we look at, I think it's a scripture that says, you will know them by their fruit, right? You can see two trees standing side by side and they can look exactly the same. But then come springtime, or, that blooming, growing season, one tree starts sprouting lemons and one starts sprouting oranges. And so then even though they looked the same when they were barren and had no fruit and no leaves, this one is a lemon tree, this one is an orange tree, right? And so that is what this time of year, when we look at nature and everything's beginning to bloom and grow and blossom, awareness happens. Awareness happens, like, oh, that's an orange tree, oh, that's a lemon tree. Well, we can do the same with ourselves, right? Aries encourages us all to bring our fruits to the surface. And that is how we become aware of who we are. So Aries, this time of year, we become more we should be looking at more about how we identify ourselves. You know, what fruits are we bringing to the surface? Who are we? You know, when you say I am, what words come after that? And then how do you show and prove that? Because again, Aries is all about that action and that, you know, that pushing forth. So you may say, I am intelligent, but then how do you show and prove that? You may say that you are a nice person, but how do you show and prove that? Because Aries always requires showing and proving. You can't just, Aries energy, you can't just talk about it. You have to be about it. You know, again, Aries is not a punk sign. Aries is not that any sign is a punk sign, but Aries energy is very, can be very dominant, but not so dominant in that it becomes arrogant, because that's the lower end of Aries energy. Is dominant in its confidence. You know, when we stand confidently in who we are, you know, and we're not concerned about what other people say, think, or feel about that. That is when we are standing strong in that Aries energy. That is when we are using that powerful fire energy of Aries to our highest and greatest good. So Aries energy is very passionate. Aries energy is very confident. And all of these keywords I'm saying right here are things that we should be working on during this time. So what are we passionate about? How are we confident? How are you confident? You know, what do you say after I am? You know, what words follow? What words immediately come to mind when you hear the words I am? How do you fill in that blank? Aries energy is all about new life, right? About bringing things anew. It's trying to shake off the winter blahs, right? And bring new life and new fire energy. And in a few weeks, we will begin to notice that the temperature actually does begin to heat up. So that is how we should be utilizing this Aries energy, is standing confidently in who we are, knowing who we are. Because before you can be confident in who you are, you have to know who you are. So who are you? Aries challenges us to ask, who am I? And then fill in the blank with I am, whatever you say, right? On the lower end, again, Aries, if you're operating in the lower energy of Aries, you may find yourself overly aggressive, too quick to being angry, impulsive, not taking calculated risk, but just being risky for no reason, right? So you want to be careful with that. You don't want to just be overly risky for no reason. You want to take calculated risk. You don't want to just be impulsive. You can be spontaneous, but don't be so impulsive that it doesn't work for you, right? Or being overly angry or being overly aggressive. You know, be aggressive in identifying who you are, and then be aggressive in standing confidently in who you are. And so how we should be self-caring during Aries season, no matter when your birthday is, no matter what sign you are. Right now, one of the, I have 4 ways actually that we can all begin to self-care during Aries season. And the first one is spring cleaning. Everybody always talks about it every year, right? This time of year, spring cleaning. That is some strong Aries energy to go in those closets, clean out the crap, clean out the junk, get rid of stuff you don't need. Either throw stuff away or give it to people that you know who can benefit from it. If you've got old clothes that are in your closet that you're not wearing and you know that you're not ever going to plan on wearing them and you know you ain't never going to fit in that ever again, get rid of it. Give it away. Give it away. Spring clean. Clean out those junk drawers. You know, Aries energy, because it is that fire energy, is an action-oriented energy. It is hard to take action when you got clutter and junk all around you. Clean that stuff out so that you can focus your energy on the things that actually matter. Number 2, take action on your dreams. So last season, if you watched the last episode of Winter Alchemy during Pisces, I talked about how Pisces was that dreamy imagination, dream, imagine, all that kind of stuff, right? Aries is like, okay, I'm done dreaming. Let's put it into action. Those of you who've been saying since last year this time, I'm going to do this, I want to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Shut up with the talking about it and be about it. Like, Aries is not about staying in the dream state. You know, Aries is like, okay, let's bring that dream into reality. So take action. And for those of you who are really about taking action, I'm going to put the link below to my class Resolution Power, which is about transforming your wishes into actual resolutions that manifest in your life. Because actually Resolution Power is going to go away. I'm going to take that away in probably about 2 weeks. So you want to make sure that you get that so that you can actually manifest your dreams and not just dream about your dreams, right? So Aries is giving you that fire, ambitious, passionate energy to push your dreams into fruition. Number 3, it's time to expand your identity. Expand who you are. If you have been the same, you know, some things about us, yes, will stay the same since from when we were born, right? You know, but if you always eat the same food, if you always go to the same places, if you always talk to the same people, if you always do the same thing, and you're not expanding yourself, if you're not growing, if you're not tearing down the walls, if your identity at age, let's just say you're 35, is the same that it was when you were 25, it's time to kind of look at that, right? Expand who you are. Expand. When you say I am, you should have some new things behind those words I am. It shouldn't just still be the same things over and over again. You should be growing and growing and growing. All right. So it's time to expand your identity. And then lastly is to speak up. If you have things that need to be said, if there are things that you know you need to get off of your chest, if there are things that you need to clear up that you've been kind of passive about, then this is the time to really speak up for yourself. Again, yes, there's a way to do that that's not overly angry, overly aggressive. You want to be mindful of that. But Aries is a very confident and self-aware energy. So this is the time to be aware of yourself, aware of what you like, aware of what you don't like. Become aware of who you are, right? And then stand confidently in that person. So that is it for Spring Alchemy episode 1. Now I want to announce my sale for all of those who are actual Aries people. Arians, I guess. I always get mixed up on that, but whatever. For my actual Aries people, those who were born March 20th through April 19th. The first thing that is for sale is the Magic of Me intuitive natal chart reading, where I look at your birth chart. Basically, I'm looking at where all of the planets were at the time of your birth, not just the sun, because we know where the sun was when you were born. It was in Aries. Duh, that's why you're in Aries, right? But I'm going to look at where the moon was, where Mars was, where was Venus, the planet of love and beauty, right? Where was Saturn, the planet of responsibility and restriction, you know, and to help you to better understand your life's purpose, who you are, how to go about your career and things of that nature. So a natal chart reading basically looks at all of that so that you can have a clearer awareness of who you are. So the Magic of Me intuitive natal chart reading, which is usually $150, is only $99 for all of my Aries people who were born between March 20th and April 19th. And that comes with I will have an actual written printout of my interpretation of your chart, plus you and I will talk over the phone where you can ask me any questions that you may have about your chart, and I can explain anything in detail that you want. So that is awesome because everybody else is still at regular price except for you, Aries. And then the second thing is the year ahead or birthday reading. And so that reading is where we look at what options, obstacles, and opportunities lie on your path over the next 365 days. And so that reading is typically $49, but for you Aries people, it is only $39 until the end of Aries season. So both of those links are down below. Make sure that you click those links and book those readings for yourself while it's on sale. And if you're not in Aries and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't understand, how come I don't get one for sale? Then this is what you do. Listen up. You find you an Aries your good friend, your mama, your cousin and them, whoever, and you gift them with a birthday reading. That's how you send the blessing out, and the blessing will come back to you. See? And then everybody's happy. All right, so that is it for that. So I do want to just quickly go over the cards that I pulled. Now, this is for everybody, no matter what sign you are. I pulled some cards for some additional wisdom that we all need to know in order to help us to all thrive, not just survive, but to really thrive during Aries season. And so I was only going to pick one of these cards, but this one fell out. And then this is the one that I actually drew. So we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant. And so the Queen of Pentacles is very much about her coins. You see that big coin right there in her mouth. So the Queen of Pentacles is about her coins, but she is very much about utilizing her money for her highest good. She is not afraid of using money, of circulating money, of spending money, but she knows where every dollar goes, right? And she's going to make sure that she not only, if there's a sale, she's going to make sure that she gets the sale, but it's really about getting the best deals, about allocating her money properly, about if there's money that needs to go into investments and savings, then that gets done. If there's things that she needs for her household, then she can easily utilize that money for that purpose. And so during Aries season, we are all being challenged to make sure that we are utilizing our money properly. It's not about being frugal and being afraid to use it and afraid to spend it. No, the Queen of Pentacles is the queen of her money, right? She knows how to master her money. She knows how to make her money work for her. So this may be a good time to look at certain investments. This may be a good time to make sure that you're saving a certain portion of your income. This may be also a good time to, where if you already have certain things that you are paying for, and I don't know why I keep thinking about, sometimes we all have all these extra things, like you have cable, plus you have Netflix, plus you have, Fire Stick, and it's like, do you need all of those? How can you consolidate all of that so that you still get the channels you want, but at the price that you want to pay? Or consolidating your bills in a way that benefits you so that you actually do have a better surplus at the end, right? And then making your money make money for you so that you can flourish, And then the Hierophant is about the rules and regulations, right? Any institutions that have rules to it. So it could be government, could be things such as marriage. So wow, so if some of y'all might even find that within your institution of marriage, you're really going to have to properly allocate your money. Like, look to the future. How much money do we want to have saved by the end of the year? Or if you have like a 401k through your job, right? You want to make sure, go over that fine print and make sure that your money is going where it needs to go. This is the time. The Hierophant, yes, is about playing by the rules in different institutions. And I'm just thinking too, because we're in tax season. So, make sure that you're up on these new tax laws, as it relates to your money, because you just want to be up on that. So the Hierophant, whenever this card appears, is calling us to look at whatever institutions we happen to find ourselves to be a part of, whether it's like school, financial aid, government stuff, taxes, marriage, anything where you have, because you are a part of it, you have to also play by the rules of that particular entity or thing or organization, right? So with it coming with the Queen of Pentacles, we want to make sure that we are being legal also, that we are handling our money in a legal way, that we are doing what we need to do with our money, that we're handling our money in a proper and balanced way. So make sure all during Aries season, don't be if you're going to take risk with your money, make sure that it's in line with the law. Make sure it's in line with, you know, any rules and regulations that deal with money, or, you know, or if you have an agreement with your spouse on how you're going to spend the money, honor the agreement. You know, don't just be out here like spending money on, don't tell them I bought all these shoes. You know what I mean? No. You know, whatever you agree on as a couple or whatever, as it relates to money, you know, make sure that you're doing that. Or if you promise to pay certain bills in the household, pay those bills. Don't be not paying them and then having your whole family ass out because you were being irresponsible. Okay. All right. So, and then lastly, I picked a Wisdom of the Oracle card and I got Higher Power. So I'm going to read that and then we will be done. Higher power. Conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of the connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. So, in everything you do, make sure that you stay prayed up, make sure you stay meditated up, and make sure that you understand that you don't know everything. Some things you just, you know, you're going to have to trust God, your higher power, source, however you define that, to guide you on your path. All right. So make sure you click all of the links below. If you're an Aries, make sure that you get the Magic of Me intuitive natal chart reading and the year ahead birthday reading, while both of those are on sale for you and only you. Everyone else, if you know an Aries, make sure you click those links too and get that as a gift for them. I'm gonna make sure I put resolution power down below because that is actually about to expire and go away. And I think that's it. All right. Until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love.